The drums echoed through the bustling streets of Oyo, signaling the start of the New Yam festival. Prince Adewale, adorned in royal regalia, scanned the crowd, his eyes locking with a Fulani maiden, Amina, whose grace was unmatched. Her delicate henna patterns and flowing hijab captivated him, and for a moment, the world stood still. As the festival continued, Adewale found himself drawn to her, but their worlds were worlds apart. He was a Yoruba prince destined to rule, while she was a Fulani nomad, bound by tradition. Yet, their brief exchange of smiles sparked a connection neither could ignore. To keep their letters safe, Adewale enlisted the help of Kofi, a loyal servant who knew the backroads of the kingdom. Kofi became their lifeline, carrying letters between the palace and the Fulani camps, his loyalty unwavering despite the risks. Amina waited anxiously for each letter, her heart skipping at the sight of Kofi. Their exchanges grew deeper, their words bolder, as they shared dreams, fears, and the weight of their responsibilities. But with each letter, the danger of discovery grew. Amina's hands trembled as she wrote her response, her words careful yet filled with curiosity. She spoke of her nomadic life, her love for the open plains, and her admiration for his courage. The letter was a secret, one she hid from her family, knowing their disapproval would be swift. When Adewale received her reply, his heart soared. Her words were poetic, her spirit free, and he knew he had found a kindred soul. But their correspondence was dangerous, a secret that could unravel both their lives if discovered. To keep their letters safe, Adewale enlisted the help of Kofi, a loyal servant who knew the backroads of the kingdom. Kofi became their lifeline, carrying letters between the palace and the Fulani camps, his loyalty unwavering despite the risks. Amina waited anxiously for each letter, her heart skipping at the sight of Kofi. Their exchanges grew deeper, their words bolder, as they shared dreams, fears, and the weight of their responsibilities. But with each letter, the danger of discovery grew. Adewale's letters became a refuge for Amina, a glimpse into a world she had never known. He spoke of his duties, his dreams for his people, and his desire to see her again. His words painted a picture of a man torn between duty and desire. Amina, in turn, shared stories of her nomadic life, the beauty of the savannah, and her love for her family. Their letters became a bridge between two worlds, a testament to a love that defied boundaries. But how long could they keep their secret? Rumors began to swirl in the palace about the prince's frequent letters. The elders grew suspicious, their eyes narrowing at Kofi's comings and goings. Adewale knew he had to be more careful, but the thought of losing Amina was unbearable. In the Fulani camp, Amina's siblings noticed her distant gaze and secretive smiles. They questioned her, but she deflected, her heart pounding with fear. The weight of their secret love grew heavier, threatening to crush them both. Against all odds, Adewale arranged a secret meeting at the edge of the savannah. Under the cover of night, they met, their hearts racing as they embraced for the first time. The moonlight bathed them in its glow, a fleeting moment of peace, but their joy was short-lived. A rustling in the bushes sent them scrambling. They parted ways, their hearts heavy with the knowledge that their love was a dangerous game. The stakes were higher than ever. The elders confronted Adewale, demanding answers about his secretive behavior. He deflected, but their suspicions only grew. The prince knew he was walking a tightrope, one misstep away from disaster. In the Fulani camp, Amina's father grew suspicious of her frequent disappearances. He warned her of the consequences of dishonoring their family. Amina's heart ached, torn between her love for Adewale and her loyalty to her family. Adewale's letters grew desperate, his words pleading for a way to be together. But Amina knew the reality of their situation. Their love was a flame that could consume them both. She made a heartbreaking decision. In her final letter, Amina wrote of her love for him but also of the impossibility of their union. She urged him to let her go, to focus on his duties as a prince. Adewale's heart shattered as he read her words, but he couldn't accept it. Determined to change their fate, Adewale devised a plan to unite their families. He would approach Amina's father, hoping to bridge the divide between their worlds. It was a risky move, but love made him fearless. Amina, unaware of his plan, prepared to leave with her family, her heart heavy with grief. As they packed their belongings, a messenger arrived with news that would change everything. The prince was coming. Adewale arrived at the Fulani camp with a small entourage, his royal attire gleaming under the sun. The camp buzzed with whispers as the Yoruba prince dismounted, his eyes searching for Amina. Her father, wary but respectful, greeted him, unsure of the prince's intentions. Amina watched from a distance, her heart pounding. She had not expected him to come, and the sight of him filled her with both joy and dread. What could he possibly hope to achieve? Their love was forbidden, and his presence only heightened the tension. Adewale stood before Amina's father, his voice steady as he declared his love for Amina. He spoke of unity, of bridging the gap between their peoples, and of a future where their love could flourish. The camp fell silent, the weight of his words hanging in the air. Amina's father frowned, his gaze shifting between the prince and his daughter. He respected Adewale's courage but knew the challenges they would face. "Love is not enough," he said, his voice heavy with concern. "Our worlds are too different." Adewale's efforts did not go unnoticed. The Fulani youth admired his determination, while the elders began to see him in a new light. Amina's father watched closely, his skepticism slowly giving way to reluctant admiration. Amina and Adewale stole moments together, their love growing stronger with each passing day. They dreamed of a future where their love could thrive, but the final decision still rested with the elders. The tension in the camp was palpable. The elders proposed a test. Adewale must spend a week living as a Fulani nomad, proving his commitment to their way of life. It was a daunting challenge, but Adewale accepted without hesitation. Amina's heart swelled with pride, but she feared for him. As Adewale traded his royal robes for simple garments, he struggled to adapt to the nomadic lifestyle. The days were long, the work grueling, but he persevered, driven by his love for Amina. Slowly, he began to earn the respect of the Fulani people. Adewale's efforts did not go unnoticed. The Fulani youth admired his determination, while the elders began to see him in a new light. Amina's father watched closely, his skepticism slowly giving way to reluctant admiration. Amina and Adewale stole moments together, their love growing stronger with each passing day. They dreamed of a future where their love could thrive, but the final decision still rested with the elders. The tension in the camp was palpable. The week came to an end, and the elders gathered to deliver their verdict. Adewale stood before them, his heart pounding. Amina clutched her mother's hand, her eyes filled with hope and fear. The head elder spoke, his voice solemn. "You have shown great courage and respect for our ways. We grant our blessing, but know this, your path will not be easy. You must prove your love to both your peoples." Adewale and Amina exchanged a tearful glance, their hearts soaring with relief. With the elders' blessing, Adewale and Amina began planning their future. They knew the road ahead would be fraught with challenges, but they were determined to face them together. Their love had already defied the odds, and they were ready to fight for it. News of the union spread quickly, reaching the Yoruba kingdom. The reaction was mixed, with some praising Adewale's vision of unity and others condemning his choice. The prince knew he had a difficult task ahead, but he was prepared to lead by example. Back in Oyo, the Yoruba elders were divided. Some saw the union as a bold step toward unity, while others viewed it as a betrayal of tradition. Adewale's father, the king, was torn between his love for his son and his duty to his people. Amina, now in Oyo, faced her own challenges. The Yoruba court was unfamiliar territory, and she struggled to navigate its complexities. But Adewale stood by her side, his unwavering support giving her strength. The kingdom grew increasingly divided, with tensions rising between those who supported the union and those who opposed it. Adewale knew he had to act quickly to prevent a rift that could tear the kingdom apart. He called for a grand council, inviting leaders from both the Yoruba and Fulani communities. It was a bold move, one that would determine the future of their love and their people. The stakes had never been higher. The council was a tense affair, with heated debates and passionate arguments. Adewale and Amina stood together, their love a symbol of hope and unity. They spoke of a future where their peoples could coexist, their differences celebrated rather than feared. Slowly, the tide began to turn. Leaders from both sides found common ground, their shared desire for peace outweighing their differences. By the end of the council, a fragile agreement had been reached, paving the way for a brighter future. The agreement reached at the Grand Council brought a temporary calm to the kingdom. Adewale and Amina worked tirelessly to foster understanding between their peoples, organizing cultural exchanges and joint celebrations. Their love became a beacon of hope, inspiring others to look beyond their differences. However, not everyone was convinced. A faction of hardline traditionalists within the Yoruba kingdom grew increasingly resentful. They saw Adewale's actions as a threat to their way of life and began plotting in secret, determined to undo the progress he had made. Adewale's trusted advisor, Chief Olumide, warned him of the growing discontent. "There are whispers of rebellion, my prince," he said, his voice grave. "You must tread carefully." Adewale nodded, his mind racing. He knew the road to unity would be fraught with challenges, but he hadn't anticipated betrayal from within. Amina, too, sensed the tension. She noticed the sidelong glances and hushed conversations whenever she walked through the palace. Despite Adewale's reassurances, she couldn't shake the feeling that danger was lurking just beneath the surface. One night, Kofi, the loyal messenger, overheard a group of conspirators plotting to overthrow Adewale and force Amina to leave the kingdom. His heart raced as he realized the gravity of the situation. He rushed to the prince, his words tumbling out in a frantic rush. Adewale listened in stunned silence, his fists clenched in anger. He had always known there would be resistance, but this was beyond anything he had imagined. He vowed to protect Amina and the fragile peace they had worked so hard to build. Adewale and Amina devised a plan to expose the conspirators. They would host a grand feast, inviting all the kingdom's leaders, including those suspected of treason. It was a risky move, but it was their best chance to uncover the truth. The night of the feast arrived, the palace alive with music and laughter. Adewale and Amina moved through the crowd, their smiles masking their unease. They knew the conspirators would make their move, and they were ready. As the feast reached its peak, the conspirators made their move, accusing Adewale of betraying Yoruba traditions and demanding Amina's exile. The room fell silent, all eyes turning to the prince. Adewale stood tall, his voice steady as he addressed the crowd. "I have not betrayed our traditions," he declared. "I have sought to strengthen our kingdom by embracing unity. Those who oppose this vision are the true betrayers." His words were met with a mix of cheers and jeers, the tension in the room palpable. The feast ended in chaos, with the kingdom more divided than ever. Adewale knew he had to act quickly to prevent a full-blown rebellion. He called for another council, this time with stricter measures to ensure the safety of all involved. Amina, meanwhile, struggled with feelings of guilt. She couldn't help but wonder if their love was worth the turmoil it had caused. Adewale reassured her, his love unwavering. "We will overcome this," he said. Together, determined to quell the rebellion, Adewale made a bold decision. He would travel to the heart of the dissenting faction's territory, unarmed and accompanied only by Amina and a small guard. It was a risky move, but he hoped to show his commitment to peace. The journey was fraught with danger, but Adewale and Amina pressed on. When they arrived, they were met with hostility, but Adewale's calm demeanor and heartfelt words began to sway even the most hardened hearts. Adewale's courage and sincerity began to win over the dissenting faction. Slowly, the tide turned, and the rebels agreed to lay down their arms. It was a hard-won victory, but one that brought hope for a brighter future. Amina, too, earned the respect of the Yoruba people. Her grace and resilience in the face of adversity inspired many, and she began to feel a sense of belonging in her new home. With the rebellion quelled, Adewale and Amina returned to Oyo as heroes. The kingdom celebrated their victory, and the couple's love became a symbol of unity and hope. They knew there would still be challenges, but they were ready to face them together. Adewale's father, the king, finally gave his full blessing to their union. "You have proven yourself a true leader," he said, his voice filled with pride. "And you, Amina, have shown the strength of a queen." Years passed, and Adewale and Amina's love only grew stronger. They ruled the kingdom together, their union a testament to the power of love and unity. Their story became legend, inspiring generations to come. And though their journey had been fraught with challenges, they knew it had been worth it. For in each other, they had found not only love but also the strength to change the world.